2000 years ago, when we did not have the benefit of all the modern technology, we were the education hub. We had great universities like Nalanda and Takshashila, and scholars from far and wide, from China, Southeast Asian countries, Nepal, Sri Lanka, this country, that country, were visiting these universities and getting education. For years and years they were doing research there. And they carried a lot of document back. They used their time here to copy all the learning resources and took it back to their countries and developed the knowledge there. That is one of the reasons why almost all the countries in the Asia and peripheral regions will have a significant amount of Indian influence, including religions of Indian origin, particularly three things which make them great. These are the creators, the creation, and the learning. The creators are the creators of the learning resources, faculty, researchers. They create knowledge, and that knowledge is the creation. They create theories, concepts, models, frameworks, textbooks, cases, papers, and we all use it. So we are all dependent on them intellectually and in everything. Our minds are also, due to this, molded in the Western way. And my biggest dream is one day India replacing USA as the education hub of the world. But if you look at that, we will find it's not an easily achievable dream. There is quality required. The creators, the creation, and the learning process are expected to ensure quality. And today what India lacks is exactly that quality. There is a lot of scope for business. But if we look at education as only a business opportunity, then there is a problem. USA is seen as a place where we can go and get good quality education, and we can have a peaceful life there during the education period as well as later. And that is why many people look at USA as a final destination. There are some other countries also which can provide this kind of an environment, but very few, and the size is also small or smaller. But in the case of India, even if we are not able to attract the Americans and the Britishers to India in large numbers for education, at least we can attract the Asians, the Africans, but we are not able to do that. Number one, the quality of our educational institutions should go up. Number two, the educators should attain in the first place quality. And third is, we need to have a quality learning process. And fourth, we also need to have a quality environment in which the people can get education. Just one of the speakers earlier mentioned, IIT gets students who don't need any particular guidance, anybody can teach. I tell you, that is the sure short way of losing even the minimum quality we at the moment have in higher education institutions. You have to get input and you have to add value before they are taken out. If you only take input and don't add value, finally what comes out, it's below quality. For instance, at least there is one company which was lamenting that their internal environment has been very faulty. So companies are finding if they don't provide internal environment, a proper internal environment and hand-holding, mentoring, their own executives who are daily doing their work will end up as poor people. Then how can an educational institution which is taking good quality people after 2, 3, 4 years get a good quality output? And if they go with such poor quality to the industry, what impression they will get? We need all kinds of quality skills. We need carpenters, we need masons. We don't get even lowest skill level with good quality. And what we need is good quality educational institutions. It is not that government should be allowing any private institutions to come and just establish something and earn money. For instance, research is one source in which we can get a lot of quality improvement in the faculty itself. And if we don't have PhD faculty, where is the research? They will routinely teach. For instance, some of my teachers might have used their 10, 20 years ago notebook to teach me in some of the lower classes. And what do they give to me? The faculty members should do research, cutting edge research. Today, India is lacking cutting edge research. There is no fundamental research. There is nothing fundamental happening in India. How many years ago we might have in India developed a theory? We had thousands of years or maybe hundreds of years ago, some Indian scientists developing so many things. Zero is fundamental to the IT industry revolution today. And it is zero which gave meaning to mathematics. It was developed how many centuries ago? Centuries ago, we had used the quadratic equation here. We had a fresh mind, thinking mind at that point of time. But today in India, Indians are going outside and developing so many things and they are getting Nobel Prize. But in India itself, how many fundamental theories and models and frameworks we have developed? This is something we need to think seriously. And for this to happen, our institution should make a lot of investment. There is no investment. Only basic investment is there in our educational institutions, even in the private sector. There may be rare universities in the private sector which may be spending a lot of money, but many of the private universities as well as many of public institutions don't have money because it's dependent on the government. Of course, there is a thrust now for going for gifts and other kinds of income generation or revenue generation. But public institutions are mostly set up by business people who were successful in the business, and then with that money they want to set up a university. But if they can invest a lot of money in research and development and knowledge creation, fundamental research, I am sure in future some of these private institutions will come up as good places like the American private universities.